Hello everybody, it's Josh Boy, and today we are doing a Breaking Bad character tier list. This is my favourite TV show of all time, so I thought how fun would it be to do a little tier list. This is just a subjective opinion, it's my opinion, so feel free to let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. To start off with, many people's favourites, Jesse Pinkman, and I probably have to agree with him, is an S tier character. He's so good and he's so tragic as well. He goes through so much in the show. He starts off so happy in like the first two seasons until the unfortunate death of Jane. And then things just go worse and worse for him. He has to kill Gale, and then obviously Andrea dies as well. And he loses everything important to him. It's so sad, and it's all Heisenberg's fault. He's such a well-written character. He's acted so phenomenally by Aaron Paul as well. He's just a staple of Breaking Bad, and without him, there's no show, is there? He's unreal. Next up, we have Mr. Ted Beneke, a fan favourite. No one really likes Ted, and I have to say I agree. He's there just kind of for Skylar's own amusement, really. He's quite irrelevant in the grand scheme of things as well, and he trips over and falls into oranges, doesn't he? Like, why is he doing that? Is he a deacon? I don't dislike Ted. I just don't think he has much going for him, and he's quite funny how pathetic he is. Really, I'm going to put him C tier because I feel like when he's on screen sometimes he does make me laugh a little bit. Because what's he doing? And after I watched Better Call Saul, I was kind of convinced that him and Howard were the same person for some reason. I don't know why. They are different people, but they're just both a little bit cutesy, aren't they? Next up, we have Mr. Schrader, Hank himself. Oh, I love Hank. He's so good, isn't it? He's funny. He's a joyful man for most of the show, but he is quite mean to Marie for quite a lot of it as well. Mainly because he's going through a lot of stuff himself, but he just doesn't want to talk it through with his wife ever, which is quite sad. I love Hank. He's one of my favourites. Is he S tier? I think not quite. I'm sorry, Hank. I love you. I think Jesse's just a little bit better than you. But everything Hank says on screen is just gold, and he's got a really well written character as well. He's got a lot of depth to him. Because at first he's just this, big loudmouth, huggable character, but then he's got quite a lot of internal battles going on. Even early on in the show, he has his panic attacks in the lifts and stuff like that. He's a very deep and well written character who does love his wife, despite not really showing it. And then we have his favourite assistant, Mr. Gomi. Oh, Gomi was so cute, and one of the saddest deaths. Obviously, Hank's death is sadder, I'd say. But just, we don't even get an on-screen death. We just come back to watch Ozymandias after the last episode, and he's just there dead on the floor. How sad is that, man? Him and Hank just have a good chemistry, and whenever they're on screen, they are just quite funny, aren't they? I'm going to put him B tier, I think. He's not as good as Hank, but for what I would say is a side character, really. He only just breaks into that bracket of a main character. He's good in it. He's really good. He's very enjoyable. Next up, we have Badger, and he is so funny. I'm rewatching Breaking Bad at the minute. I'm in, like, the second season, and he's just so funny. He has so many iconic lines. Oh, his presence is all just so funny, and one of my favourite things he does is when he's being interrogated by Hank, and he's asking him questions about Heisenberg, and he's just like, he's 50 or 70 or something, and then, like, he says he's bolder than him. He's just so funny without meaning to. I prefer him to Gomi. He's not quite an A tier, but Badger, I do prefer you to Gomi slightly, and I'm sorry, Stephen. I'm sorry. Oh, next up we have Gustavo Fring. The show changes a lot when he comes into it, because, like I said, I'm in the first couple of seasons at the minute, and it's very, very different. There's no, like, dark, sinister vibe to it. And when he comes in at first, he seems quite cute and friendly. But the more you get to know him, honestly, he's an evil, evil man, to be fair. He's a brilliant character again. Very, very well acted by Giancarlo Esposito. He's just a menace and he's quite scary, isn't it? Because I like how calm and composed he is. Because compared to someone like Tuco, for example, who's like probably the most stereotypical baddie you could ever think. He's just loud, shouty, evil. He's very calm, he's very controlled. And that makes him a lot more scary and a lot more interesting for me. And I think he's going to be A tier. Ooh, is he better than Hank or not? I'm going to put him just above Hank. Just above Hank. And Hank, you are a brilliant character, but I just think Gus is just such a well-written, fleshed-out villain who's really interesting and so much more than just the baddie. He's even got a cool backstory. Well, not a cool backstory, it's very tragic, actually. Next up, we have Skinny Pete, Badger's best mate. I do prefer Badger to Skinny Pete, it does have to be said, just because Badger's more funny, innit? Skinny Pete's kind of that guy who's always got your back. He's that chill, reliable guy, who is very, very funny as well. He's not as funny as Badger. I'm going to put him in B tier, and he's going to go just behind Stephen Gomez. I do love you, Skinny Pete, though. Next up, we have Skylar White, one of the most overhated and probably the character that brings up the most controversy whenever she's brought up. There's a very big split on people hating her and not hating her. And let's discuss why that is. A lot of the reasons people hate her is because, for one, she kind of gets in the way of Walt's evil plans, which is ridiculous because she's evil. Because Walt's evil, sorry. So she's only doing the right thing, trying to look after her son. And as well, she does cheat on Walt, which is a bad thing to do, obviously. However, she tried to divorce him, and he said no. He's a drug lord, like killing people and that sort of thing. So I think there's worse things to be doing than cheating on people if your husband is literally a murderer who makes drugs for a living. Like, you can't be on your high horse about that. And people compare Ted and Walt sometimes, which is weird because they're both criminals doing the bad thing. But like tax evasion or whatever Ted does is a little bit different to cooking a meth empire, I would personally say. I really like Scarlett. She's a proper solid character. She's an A-tier character for me. I think I prefer Hank just because he gets more laughs. He's a funnier guy. But Scarlett's a really solid and I think likeable character who's really tragic as well. She's just in the wrong place at the wrong time with an evil husband. Next up, we have Mr. Breakfast himself. Pancakes, waffles, you name it, he eats it. Orange juice, all that sort of thing. Bacon. He's just the consumer of breakfast, isn't he? He absolutely adores it. And look at him. He's a really good character, actually. I quite like him. He's not into it so much. I like his little arc when he decides he doesn't want to be called Walter Jr. anymore. He wants to be called Flynn. And I think it's really interesting as well that, with his parents, he blames his mum Skylar for everything rather than Walt, which is really interesting. It's just really unfair on her, but he doesn't know what's going on, does he? And she seems like the bad guy. He's only really heard one side of the story, and from what he sees, his mum just is being horrible to Walt for no reason whatsoever. But obviously, when he does learn the truth, it comes to his senses, and he's like, "Get out, Dad," that type of thing. Good character, not my favourite character, but that's no disrespect to him. He's not, he's not going around killing people and that sort of thing. He's just Walt's family, and he's Walt's other son because Jesse's his main son at this point. Where do you go, though? That's conflicting me a little bit. I'm going to put you just above Stephen Gomez, but below Badger, because Badger's, again, he's just comedy gold, Badger. So I think he goes there. Next up, we have Hector, a man of few words, it has to be said, especially if we're not counting flashbacks. He kind of just, ring-ding-dings a bell. But, he's a very fascinating character. We see a lot more of him in Better Call Saul. He's just quite an evil guy, isn't he? But then, unfortunately, things happen, and he can no longer speak, and all he can do, really, is wiggle his finger. He does have some funny moments, like when he's been interrogated by the DEA the first time and he just, has a little accident in his seat, which I'm sure was not an accident, let me just tell you that. He isn't my favourite villain, but he's a good one. And I like how him and Walt kind of teamed up to get Gus, because he just hates Gus so much. So they had a little, double team and Gus didn't stand a chance. So I respect the sacrifice, Hector. And it is interesting having a villain who can't actually speak. All he can do is ring-a-ding-ding, like we said. Which is fascinating. I like you, Hector. Where do I put you? I'm going to put you at top of B tier. That feels like a little bit harsh because he's a very, very good character. But I think, personally, I do enjoy these characters ever so slightly more than Hector. Maybe because he can't speak, as interesting as it is. Next up, we have Jane. This is obviously the girlfriend of Jesse for a little bit. I don't know if they were official or what. Unfortunately, she relapses. She goes back to drugs. Jesse's fault. Probably the worst thing in the show Jesse ever does, to be fair, is get her back on drugs, and obviously it kills her. Well, Walt obviously is partly to blame as well because he could have saved her, but he didn't. So, Walt and Jesse both have to bear that cross, bear the burden of causing her to die. Her as a character, I'm not particularly keen on her, to be honest. I think she's fine at first, but she gets quite annoying, just because I don't think her intentions with Jesse are genuine, especially when he gets his money. She seems very interesting in this money. And they were never going to last. They were awful for each other, weren't they, Jane and Jesse, if you think about it, really. They could never last, and it's so sad the way she went out. But as a character, she's fine. She didn't really do it for me. I think she's C tier. She's better than Ted. Just because she made Jesse happy sometimes. Ted makes nobody happy. Okay, Ted really trying to, certify his spot as top C tier, but that is Jane, unfortunately. Next up, we have Lydia. Another person people do find annoying. I think she is very annoying. She's the definition of paranoid, isn't she? Always wearing these massive, stupid sunglasses and trying to be all ambiguous, which makes her a lot more suspicious, in my opinion. She's a very intelligent woman, that has to be said. Although not clever enough to see Walt, pour some poison, I can't remember the poison's name now, into her drink, which is unfortunate for her because she died, I presume. Where do I put her? She's really annoying. I don't like a character, to be honest, but I respect her part in the TV show. But I do find her really quite annoying, to be honest with you. I don't know why. I think it's just the constant paranoia. Like, you're in this evil business, you need to own it a little bit. Be all cool like Heisenberg. Where do I put you? I'm going to put you below Ted, just because she's irritating on screen. I think she's acted really well by an actor, because her actor's Scottish as well, isn't she? Which you wouldn't have thought. She's a well-acted character, but obviously that means for an annoying character sometimes. So hats off to you, but one of my least favourites. Next up, we have Marie Schrader. She goes through an awful lot, bless her, and it's clear how much she loves Hank. Hank, for a lot of the show, is quite nasty to be honest, and that's we see the worst of Hank when he's with her, really, just because he's got all these problems, but he doesn't really know how to speak about them with anyone. He doesn't want to speak about them with her. I don't know why. He must find it embarrassing. because you know his character is this big manly man who's not bothered by anything, and deep down, you know, he gets affected by stuff. His line of work's awful, and she's always there for him no matter what. She always backs him, and she's so unfortunate to lose Hank as well. She's a good character, Marie. I quite like her. Where would I put her? I feel like her and Junior kind of give similar vibes. Caught in the crossfire. I'm going to put her just below Junior. I'm going to put her there. Next up, we have Saul Goodman. And, in this, I forgot how good he is. After watching Better Call Saul, which I don't think is as good as Breaking Bad, I have to say. The pacing's probably not quite at it for me compared to Breaking Bad. I like it slightly more fast-paced action. But there again, Better Call Saul is still a magnificent show. He's a lot better in this than Better Call Saul, I think. Because obviously he's more Jimmy, where he's more sad and depressed. Here he's playing his Saul character and he's just so funny. Like, I watched his first episode the other day where he comes into it and he's just so good. Every line's a classic and his energy he brings is unreal. It's so useful as well, isn't it? He's just always got a smile on his face, apart from when he doesn't, and that's really sad. And without him, you know, Walt's empire would never be, which is a good thing. But he's so likable, isn't he, Saul? Where do I put him? He's got a lot of screen time, but there's characters with more screen time than him. He's not a main character, like down to the core of the action. He's kind of like behind the scenes type of guy. I think he goes above Hank for me. He goes there. Because I love a funny guy. Hank and him are both funny guys, but I think Saul's just a little bit funnier. He's a bit of a wind-up merchant as well, because Walt just can't handle him sometimes, and it's so good. Next up, we have Mike Ehrmantraut. Arguably the best character in the Breaking Bad universe for me. Mike is unreal, and especially if you watch Better Call Saul and then Breaking Bad again, you get to realise just how much of an in-depth character he really is. He's a fantastic man, isn't he? You have to go S tier. I think I just prefer Jesse on a personal note, but Mike Steffi's probably the saddest death. I'm gonna say it's so sad. You know it's gonna come. Mike, for once, you know, speaks his mind. He speaks out against Walt, which he should have done, and then Walt, being the absolute prat he is, goes and kills him. Just because, you know, he said some things which were true about Walt. And it's so sad, you know, all this work he did it all for his family, genuinely, unlike Walt. You know, all he wanted to do was set up a good future for his granddaughter, and he couldn't even give her the money in the end, which is so sad. It's so sad. Tuco Salamanca, a bit of a loudmouth, isn't it? He's not got too much depth. He's kind of just a crazy guy, and I think the show improves once he goes, in a way. He's not in it for long. He's in like 3 or 4 episodes, but it never had much of an impact for me. He's a good first villain, but I'm glad he wasn't in it more than what he is. I just don't really care for him, to be honest. I'm going to put him at the bottom of C tier. Is that crazy putting like Lydia and Ted and Jane above him? Maybe a little bit, but I just don't really care for him. He's the one character who, like, when I see on screen, I never particularly enjoy. I'm just a bit like, ugh, you know, can we get him gone now? No disrespect to the actor, again, because he played a brilliant job with him. You know, he did exactly what he should have done. He's a very extreme character. He's quite tiring to watch, isn't he? But yeah. And finally, we have Mr. Walter White, Heisenberg himself, with his cool goatee. Who could be cooler than him? He's a tricky one, because obviously he's a terrible, terrible person, and I'm someone who definitely sees that. Some people try and defend him, but he did it for him. He's a nasty, awful, manipulative beast of a man. But I really enjoy his character still. I don't like his character, if that makes sense, but I enjoy him. Like, I'm not going, oh yeah, go on, Walt, I'm backing for you. But you do kind of root for him, even though you shouldn't, don't you? But then you kind of enjoy his demise as well. And I think a lot of people were still on his side probably until he killed Mike, and then everyone was like, we can't keep backing this boy. You're a fantastic character, Walt. I'm going to put you in S tier as well. I'm going to put you just below Mike. I think these two characters I do prefer to you. But one of the most well-written characters, probably in TV in general, it has to be said. Just his like kind of transformation to become more and more evil as the show goes on, more ruthless. But then there's still signs, even from the first episode, of him always being that way. He's always got that inside. And one of the best quotes I see quite a lot thrown around is that Walt's a criminal in a normal person's life, and Jesse's a normal person in a criminal's life. And it's really sad to see. You know, there's a father and son dynamic between the two as well. Walt sees Jesse as more of a son than his own son, which is, you know, pretty bad as well. But yeah, I think that does wrap up this video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. I had a little bit of fun there, I'm not going to lie. This hasn't got loads and loads of characters, this one, but I didn't want to spend all day doing it. I thought we'd do a little bit more of an in-depth with each character video rather than talking about, like, Preppy Shopper who got shot by the Salamanca twins, who aren't even in it. The Salamanca twins aren't even in this, I've just realised. If they were to be in it, I'd probably put, probably top of B with Hector, just because they don't really do much, but they're quite cool, aren't they? That does wrap up this video anyway, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one where I don't know what I'll be doing. You're just going to have to find out. Bye.